Hello. Welcome to A Time to Think with Pastor Billy Joe Hillbilly. This is sort of a continuation of my last video where I talked about why you would want to be a Christian. This is maybe moves a little more along the lines of what happens if you decide you really don't want to be a Christian. Well, God is perfect. Man is imperfect. Man is physical and natural, and God is eternal and spiritual and just metaphysical or whatever. He's outside of the realm of physical. He did exist in the form of a man. That man's name was Jesus. And for those that have any confusion on it, that, are not Christians, don't know anything about any of it, Christ is a title, not a last name, so not the beginning of an expletive either, please. Anyway, but God created us. God is the reason we exist in the first place, and wow, if we exist because of Him, well, sorry, my notes just fell, so let's try this again. Sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulty. Anyway, as I was saying, God is eternal. God is the creator of all physical. God created us. Wow, why would you not want to thank and live for, and why would you not want to say, hey, thanks, I exist because of you. To devote yourself to God is the only thing really that makes any kind of sense to me in this life. I mean, think about it. Think about existence. I mean, I touch, I feel, I taste, I see, I smell, I exist. Have you ever really just thought about the absolutely amazing gift of existence? To be aware, to know, to see, to touch, I am alive only because of God. Only because of God. Wow. How can you not give Him everything? How can you not give God everything? Anyway, as I said, God is eternal and perfect, and we're imperfect and finite. I mean, after our bodies are gone, then the spirit continues, but being that we're human, fallible sinners, every one of us, again, every person is a sinner. The only one that ever lived on the planet that's not a sinner is Jesus. And that was God born as a man. So, He had an advantage. Anyway, but God created a bridge between us and Him. Because, see, sin separates us from God. Sin is anything that we do, say, feel, think, our actions, our inactions. As I've said, it's when God says to go and we stay and we go, do and we don't and we do, etc. And that's our very nature, is to rebel, to choose our own path, to be our own man, woman, whatever, to decide where we go and that kind of thing. And that separates us from God. God made a bridge to cross that division. That bridge, of course, was Jesus, and He came to earth. He existed to basically die as a sacrifice to make up for our sin, for our hate and our sinful, nasty, diseased way of living and thinking. See, people think that God sends people to hell. Well, no, they choose it. In your life, if you decide that you're going to go your own route, then you're choosing to separate yourself from God. And if you do that now, then in eternity, you'll be separated from God. Eternity. Wow. I'm going to go into great, gory, horrible detail in a future video about eternity and what it's all about and what it means. But just think about never, ever, 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 ever ending. You know, I could take a piece of paper and write down 1 and then start writing zeros. And I could fill the entire page. And that many years, that many millions of years is still a finite period. So for eternity, I'd have to keep writing for my entire life. And even that's not eternity. So I could fill up books from, here to the ground or to the moon and back with zeros or all nines, 9, and never reach forever. No matter how long I wrote this big long number, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, in millions of years, that's still, although a really long period of time, that's still not eternity. Eternity's more than every grain of sand on every planet in the entire universe. Not just our galaxy, not just the planet Earth, but everywhere. That's eternity. Do you want to be separated from God for that long? Because see, if you're outside the presence of God, this is what hell is. And I think we can experience it to some degree maybe in our physical lives to know what it's like to be separated from God. How that doesn't terrify people beyond anything on the planet. I mean, more than anything, to think of being separated from God for all of eternity, to be in hell, to be in pain, to never know love, to never know happiness, to never know joy, to never know... See, I've often thought about it this way. Even if hell was a beach, and you had a drink machine and whatever that dispensed your favorite beverage and it never went away and it never stopped and it never failed and you had everything to drink and eat that you'd ever want, and you'll be there without anyone to love, without any companionship. You're not going to have, chats with someone on down the road. You're not going to hang out. You're not going to feel like it because you're going to be in pain, and it never, ever, ever ends. Wow. Like I said, I mean, even if you had all you wanted to drink and eat and all that, in hell, you will never, ever, ever know happiness or joy or love. You'll never know God. You'll never know what it's like to be in the presence of the one that created you, that loved you enough to die for you. God became a man and died for you. Wow. Do you really want to be separated from that kind of love? Do you really want to be, there's a group that has a song called Hell Ain't Such a Bad Place to Be, or something like that. Really? Really? There's no worse place? You certainly could not imagine one, because it's the complete and total absence of God. And nothing that you can imagine could be that bad. So I hope you don't spend eternity there. I hope I don't spend eternity there. I wish we could all spend eternity in heaven. And you know, that's actually God's will. He wants us all to spend eternity with Him. But we get the choice. And some aren't going to choose to spend eternity with Him. As a Christian, you should be, if you're a Christian, that should keep you up at night, knowing that there are people that will be separated from Him for all of eternity. That should keep you up. I hope it does. Anyway, so that's enough of today. So hope everyone has a good day. I really appreciate you tuning in. Again, if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to watch. Sweat, by the way. I cry a lot. This is just sweat. Because it's getting really warm and I'm in a robe. A really thick, warm robe. But that's okay. It's okay. It's not an eternal thing. It's a finite thing. So, anyway, hope all is well where you are.